Hello, my PC students. This next question is still involving SUMIF and having you practice it to make sure you understand it. So I've already opened it up, but go open up the one called XX Model. Go to your teaching documents and open up your one called XX Model and save it in your folder. All right, and I'm going to go to View here, and I'm going to go to Zoom, and I'm going to put on the 150. Okay, so now the question says calculate the revenue. All right, well, first of all, if you know if the units cost $8 each times, and there was 5 of them, what would be the cost? The cost would be $40. So you can calculate that pretty easily and drag it down. Now, we don't want the dollar sign repeating, so go to your Home tab and paint out the dollar sign. It didn't ask us for any totals, so we won't worry about that. And now it says use a SUMIF to calculate the total revenue for the KBSO account. All right, so we want to equal SUMIF. Okay, so what is the range? And remember, you always have to put in that word evaluate. What range do I want to evaluate? Well, I want to evaluate A2 to A7, right? Because that's where my account name is. All right, comma. Now I want KBSO, so I click in cell A2, or I could have clicked in A3. Doesn't matter. Comma. And now what is the sum range? All right, I want the total revenue, so I'm going to highlight my sum range, E2 to E7. And 5716, and you can add 40 and 17 to get 5716. So pretty easy. So equals SUMIF, and we want to do the same thing for Kramer. So here's the range we want to evaluate. The range has Kramer in it, comma, and what's the criteria? Kramer, so either A4 or A5, comma, and what do you want to sum? The revenue. So very easy for you to do. And now I'm just going to widen this column here. And one more time, equals SUMIF, open your parentheses. And once again, what range do you want to evaluate? You want to evaluate the names, right? Comma. And just so you know, I'll take A3 this time. No, I want Mackenzie. So I'll take A7, just so you have something different. And the sum range would be your revenue. And there you have 7150, and if you add that, you can see it's 7150. All right, save your work. Now, this time, this is a little bit different. You got to think about this. Try it on your own first, of course. Okay, so we want to use a SUMIF to find the number of units that cost more than $6.50. Okay, so what are you going to do? We have to find all the units that are more than $6.50. All right, so, and we will sum the units because it asks us to find the units costing more. So equals SUMIF. Open your parentheses. All right, what column do you want to evaluate? Evaluate. You want to evaluate the price column. Why? Because you have to find all the prices that are more than 6.5 cents or $6.50. All right, so put in your comma, and now your criteria is more than, so I'm going to go quote here, more than 6.5. All right, quote. Now, in this case, we can't click in the cell. It won't work. You got to put it in with quotation marks, okay? So more than 650, comma, and the sum range that you want is to sum the number of units. The number of units. So evaluate the price according to more than $6.50 and sum the units. And you should have got 19, which is right. Okay, now in the next scenario, okay, let's do it again just so you got it, equals SUMIF. All right, now what do you want to evaluate? What range do you want to evaluate? You want to evaluate the price range. Okay, then you said this time it had to be more than or equal to $6.50. So still quotation mark, more than equals 6.5. All right, quotation marks, comma, that's the end of my criteria, and my sum range is how many units. All right, close your parentheses and press enter. Okay, so you got 30. So the first time you got 19. So more than 650, you couldn't count those two. You could only count the $8, which gave you 5 units, and the $8.99 is 5 and 6 units is 11, and 8 gives you 19. Now, this time it said more than or equal to 650. So you had the 5. You had the 6 was 11, 8 was 19, makes sense. 19, and now these two are included. 19, 11 gives you 30. Now, another way you could have done this is you could have gone Control C, and you could have went here Control V, F2 to edit, okay? But do you see how your range, let me check here. Do you see how your range changed? It went from C3 to C8. That's not going to work because your range is C2 to C7. So that isn't going to work. Just so you see that, it's not going to work. Oh, I want to backspace that. Take it out. Okay, so here though, okay, so I hope you still have got this formula in there. Yours should read sum if of C2 to C7. This is the range to evaluate. More than or equal to 6.5. And the range to sum is D2 to D7. So just make sure yours is there. And there's your 30 that we calculated. So once again, very easy to do. All right, we'll stop there. So save your work.